Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. This week, a good episode.
Thank the Lord.
Specifically this week, The Doctor's Wife, written by Neil Gaiman. And to discuss it with me, I'm joined by my usual co-hosts. Well, two of them anyway. Sadly, Kachiri couldn't make it. So, to my virtual left, if you say "see" into a mirror 3 times, he'll appear. It's Freezing Inferno.
It's either me or Iron Mouse. It's like a 50-50 shot.
Iron Mouse, I love that reference.
She's Satan.
And to my virtual right, she's here to remind you all that TARDISes are sentient. It's Kat.
Yeah, they fucking are.
And this story kind of proves it.
This story very much proves it. But, you know, it was made after 2007, so Chris Chibnall hasn't seen it.
So this is the 4th episode of Series 6 then, starring Matt Smith. Widely considered to be the best episode of that series, and also one of the best episodes that Stephen Moffat has ever directed for.
I mean, it's Neil Gaiman.
He's not the director.
Sandman, Coraline, American Gods.
He's not the director, I got that wrong. Showran 4.
Yeah.
Executively produced, let's go with that. So...
Yes, that.
Yeah, it's Neil Gaiman, and this does kind of come across as a greatest hits Neil Gaiman story, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are certain elements that Gaiman is famous for including in his works, and this hits about 4 of them. So let's discuss how it does that, shall we? We begin not with the Doctor, but with a woman called Idris.
Something's going to happen to her, and it's really going to hurt.
Elba?
No, not
Idris Elba. No, not Knuckles. She don't chuckle.
Doctor Who and Knuckles.
I mean, people want Idris Elba to be 14, so...
Yeah.
I mean, no lie, this entire week, I have been making nothing but and Knuckles joke to Chris, just because we were planning to go see Sonic 2 at some point.
Oh my gosh.
Have you seen that film yet?
No, I haven't.
I've heard very good things about it.
Sick. And if anybody is like, wow, she sounds really weird this episode, it's because I was sick.
Yeah.
And still slightly am.
Yeah.
We don't know if it was COVID or what, but...
It was not COVID. I tested for COVID.
Yeah, something did a number on you, and...
That's a relief.
Although, to be fair, apparently you could test negative for COVID and still have fucking COVID. So
yeah, but I don't think you have.
Wear your mask.
What a hell world. Well, Idris doesn't have COVID, but she's about to really hurt, as the other people tell her. And also there's an Ood there, but it's not just for, it's not like in Survivors of the Flux where it's, hey, look, it's an Ood. Remember the Ood? It's, we were running out of budget, and we literally just had to grab whatever fucking costume was in the storage.
I can forgive that, because it doesn't feel like they're playing into the slavery thing.
Well, there's a line at the end that's a little more charitable than just nostalgically bring back the Ood without considering their roots, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. So we have auntie, uncle, nephew, and Idris. I don't know what family member Idris relates to in this bizarre
niece,
world.
I guess.
So yeah, it's really gonna hurt. And then a green light floods into Idris, who's having her mind and soul drained. Again, that's not going to be painful for her in the slightest.
You're going to have a new soul because there's a Time Lord coming. As we cut to the TARDIS.
Yeah, cue opening credits.
Banter.
And
well,
then...
no, it's not the credits yet. No.
Oh no, that's You've Got Mail.
Credits drop us later. Yeah. So Amy and Rory are having a chat and stuff, talking about some previous adventure, and because it's Series 6, they pull aside and they're like, hey, remember how we saw the Doctor from the future totally get shot by an astronaut? It's pretty fucked up, right?
I mean, it was.
It was, to be fair. We're still wondering how the fuck he's going to get out of that as of the airing of this episode, but someone's knocking on the TARDIS door. Thankfully not 4 times, but, still, they are in the middle of deep space, so it's like, what in the fuck?
It's a little weird. And then he opens the door, and what does he see but this?
What the hell?
I honestly... is this from Clue?
Yes.
I'll be honest, I saw the door, and I was honestly expecting what's his name? Ralph Boner?
Ralph Boner? Yeah.
No, I think it's still a little too early to give out WandaVision spoilers.
I didn't say it was WandaVision spoilers.
No,
you did.
You did.
I didn't say the word WandaVision.
Wow, it's a minefield. So, the actual thing that's knocked on his door is a cube.
Hey, we know this continuity reference now.
Yes, we do.
We do?
War games.
Yeah, he formed a cube with cards, didn't he, to contact the Time Lords?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Wow, look at that. It's Moffat using, old-timey stuff in a way that makes sense. Learn from that, Chibnall. Oh, wait, you didn't watch this series. That's
So the Doctor is very excited he's got mail. We get our credits. And the message is from, not the Master, not any Time Lord we've seen before, the Corsair.
Keep in mind that this is pre-Day of the Doctor, so it's very much, I'm last of the Time Lords, I killed them all. We hadn't retconned that yet, so... Oh, hey, a living Time Lord, that could be a good thing. And it's from the Corsair. This big strapping bloke who had a snake tattoo. Was a girl a few times, too, so this might be, like, the first time they've explicitly said in the show that, Time Lords can change gender.
We introduced the concept that
Okay.
Time Lords can change gender.
There was a reference at the end of Time that Time Lords could switch genders, but this is the first time it's explicitly mentioned they can.
I mean, it's another step on the way to first Missy and then Jodie Whittaker.
So the Doctor's wife is the first time it was officially thought of.
Yeah.
Exile is a big Finnish story that's in a parallel universe.
No. Oh,
there's the Curse of Fatal Death, where the Doctor regenerated to a quote-unquote female Doctor.
Let's not talk about Exile.
Yeah,
Exile
let's not go there.
Look, I'm just mentioning it as a thing where there was an incarnation of a female Doctor. It's not an official canon thing that happened in the actual TV show. So I'm just mentioning it. Don't get on my tits about it.
The Corsair are a fascinating character because they've never appeared on TV, but they have appeared in print. And every time they regenerated, they loved the snake tattoo so much they got it copied onto their arm. Believe it or not, put a pin in that.
Yeah. I mean, foreshadowing. And also, we're leaving the universe to go find where this message is.
Yeah, they start deleting parts of the TARDIS to use up as fuel, and they land in this unfamiliar surface, and the TARDIS just goes completely dead.
Like the soul of the TARDIS just vanished. But where would it go? As we cut to Idris vomiting up, regeneration energy, Artron energy, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
And TARDIS whooshing.
And TARDIS whooshing.
She's opening her mouth and gasping for breath, and the TARDIS whoosh, the sound is going out of her mouth.
The wheezing groaning, yes.
That's not wheezing groaning. I know that's the subtitles, but still.
I mean that's what Terrence Dicks called it in like every Doctor Who book he ever wrote.
Isn't it like...
I'm sorry, but knowing what we know now, it means that someone left Idris's handbrake on.
Yeah.
That's
before this, yeah.
Yeah, that is. That was in the Time Angels, right? Yeah, River said it.
Which I found out today was the first ever story that Matt Smith filmed.
Yep.
Wow, he just got it straight away, didn't he?
Matt Smith was a really good doctor. Let's praise him more as we talk about the fun little soap bubble analogy. This is great. Way outside the universe. Imagine the universe is a big bubble, and then imagine we're a tiny soap bubble on that soap bubble. Okay? It's nothing like that.
So basically, you know what I just said? Ignore it.
Ignore me. But speaking of good writing, because the Doctor is convinced, okay, well, the TARDIS is drained of power, but there's all kinds of rift energy here. She'll recharge in a bit. And then Idris runs onto the scene, and every fucking thing out of this actress's mouth is fucking gold.
Yes.
Not a word.
It's perfect.
Not a word of Idris's dialogue is wasted. Not a single word. She calls him her thief.
And then she's like, goodbye? No, not goodbye. What's the other one? I don't know.
Yeah, she doesn't know what it is.
And then she bites him.
Oh, yes, I love this slide. I love biting. It's like kissing. Oh, there's a winner.
It's really good.
And then later she discovers her tongue, and she's like, "Oh, I know of a new way of kissing." And starts chasing the doctor around.
Yeah,
yeah. Aunt and uncle are like, "Oh, she's mad. She bites. Be careful."
please ignore the crazy person. Yes.
Yeah, she's confused by tenses. She's like, "Where are we going? Where have I been? Where am I? I don't know. What? It's all really confusing." But then she also says, "The little boxes are going to make you angry." And then she looks at Amy and says, "It means the smell of dust after rain." But what does? Petrichor.
Yeah.
Oh, does this body have an off switch? Faint.
I mean, you gush
And
about
then
Matt
Uncle's
Smith
like,
all you
"Oh,
want.
she's dead."
For me, she steals the show.
I mean, she's really good.
And she could be the next Doctor.
I mean, I buy
Like
it.
legit, or
There were rumours. Mind you, that was before we knew that RTD was taking over again.
Hmm.
I think the idea was when it was rumoured that Sally Wainwright was taking over as showrunner, because she'd worked with Suranne Jones in the past, she wanted an actor or actress she was familiar with.
Right.
But if she is in the frame, God, I hope it's her.
So yeah, we're really flying through, but just imagine watching this scene and every fucking single line written for this character is just perfect.
I probably shouldn't say this for a
wonderful.
review podcast, but you really need to see this for yourself.
yeah, it's just.
I mean, if you haven't seen it and you're listening to this, first of all, you're spoiling yourself. Second of all,
yeah,
go see it. Go see it.
yeah.
If you haven't seen it in a while, go see it again.
So
It's like we're gonna give 10 million points to Neil Gaiman for writing all this dialogue, but we're also gonna give another 10 million to Suranne Jones for just mwah.
yeah, and 500,000 to Matt Smith.
Yes.
And none for Chris Chibnall.
He's not involved in this episode.
Yeah, but
That's Michael Sheen.
Oh yeah, the voice of the villain is Michael Sheen.
So Amy and Rory are like, "What the fuck is that?" Pointing to nephew, and the doctor's like, "Oh, it's an Ood. Hi, Ood. Hi. Okay, nice."
The Ood is told by the uncle, "Oh, can you take her just away somewhere where she won't bite other people? Thank you."
But the Ood can't talk, so the doctor's like, "Oh, can I help?" And puts the sonic to the Ood's fear thing because this Ood doesn't have brain. It's secondary brain, whatever the terminology was from Planet of the Ood. I forget. Brain in hand. And once he turns on the spear, all sorts of Time Lord distress calls get picked up.
This is so creepy.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, they play the Ood for creepy a lot with the translation thing, but
Honestly, they just play the Ood for creepy in general.
to be fair.
So the Doctor's like, "Okay, where are you keeping the Time Lords? Where are they?" And the answer's like, "There's no one. There's us. There's the house.
The
And
house.
Well, who the hell's the house?" And then Hugh Laurie turns up. No.
It's not Lewis.
And then the Doctor and Amy play bingo. No.
House is this planetoid,
Yeah.
a sentient planetoid.
Who
I
you
think
just
they call it an asteroid.
you never see a physical manifestation of House. It's just a voice, and what a voice!
I'd argue, is there a physical manifestation of House?
No,
Or is it just purely telepathic?
it's the planet, isn't it?
Sorry. But the Doctor just say that it's kind of like a sea urchin where it has like this hard outer shell and then a soft squishy thing inside. So I'm wondering if maybe there is a physical form of, of House, but it's kind of like, just like a brain in a jar or something.
Well, Auntie says, when she's asked what's the house, oh, the house is the asteroid we're living on. We eat his food, we breathe his air, we live on his back, we smell its armpits. That's in response to Amy saying, "Why does the air smell so much?"
Yeah.
And then we get demonic possession.
That's fun.
For kids.
So this is not an evil entity in the slightest. It takes control of auntie, uncle, and nephew, though nephew still can't speak, obviously. And they go like wide-eyed, and they're talking with his voice. Again, it's played for creepiness. And it's very effective.
The house has met lots of Time Lords, and lots of TARDISes have been on his back. And the Doctor says, "Oh, well, there won't be any more, because I'm the last of the Time Lords, and I'm the last TARDIS. Oh, what a shame."
Yeah, well stay a while. Stay forever.
I'm also going to mention something that has absolutely no bearing on this episode whatsoever.
Oh.
Michael Sheen also played a character in 2020, the movie. Michael Sheen played COVID-19.
Oh my God.
And certainly, a virus that invades people and other things absolutely has nothing to do with this episode.
Oh my God.
Good character.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm not
I'm
terrified.
not sorry.
No, you're not.
So the Doctor goes off to explore, and Amy and Rory are following. And Amy's like, "Well, wait a minute. You told me all about the Time Lords and the Time War and what you had to do. So, won't they be like... Wouldn't that be a bad thing if there are Time Lords around here? Oh, but if they're like the Corsair, they're good ones, and they can be saved." And Amy correctly points out, she kind of psychoanalyzes the Doctor. "You want to be forgiven." To which all he can say is, "Don't we all?" Oh shit!
Well, that just broke my heart.
I forgot my sonic screwdriver in my other jacket. Amy, could you go get it? Okay, Rory, look after him.
You have to
Rory, go look after her.
That's not going to backfire at all.
No.
Yeah, the whole thing where Amy's like, if they are Time Lords, are you going to explain that you've destroyed the rest of your species to them? As we find out, he doesn't have to do that, which is, again, heartbreaking. But they go inside the TARDIS.
And green swirly shit promptly surrounds it.
It's the worst possible time to have done this, because...
We should mention before this happens, before he sends them away, Idris does wake up and starts, calling for her thief, and the Doctor does hear her, so he has an idea of where she is.
Yeah, that'll be important. And, so Amy calls the Doctor on her spare phone. I guess it's her phone, and she's calling...
I think it's the TARDIS console phone.
Oh, yeah, it's the TARDIS console phone. You're right, I'm remembering now. So she calls him from that phone, and she gave him her cell phone, so... He picks it up, and she's like, "Okay, so where's your jacket?" And then the Doctor's on the phone, and he pulls out the sonic screwdriver, which he had the entire time, and locks the TARDIS. Because,
Why does he do this? Because Amy's proven to be very capable as a companion.
This is some, McCoy manipulation, protection shit going on here.
But he doesn't need to do it.
It's because Amy is worried that the Doctor's going to get emotional and start making mistakes, and he doesn't want her to stop him.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, the 11th Doctor can be a bit of a bastard. He's got that side to him.
He can.
Well, yeah, but past Doctors have been able to do that too, so really he's just even more of the Doctor.
Like when he has to break Amy's faith in him in the God Complex.
Yikes.
If only a certain other Doctor who is currently going on would have, done that as well, be a bastard.
Oh, well, I mean...
Not that I'm saying anything.
No.
Not you're saying.
So Amy and Rory are totally safe, absolutely totally safe inside the TARDIS. Yes, sir. But
meanwhile,
Doctor,
have some heartbreak.
Yeah, the Doctor is more interested in a cupboard. Because he's got his son, and he's like, well, where's these stressors coming from? Oh, they're all coming from this one place. It's a cupboard. They're not going to be in a cupboard, and he opens the cupboard, and there's all the cubes.
I mean, to be fair, Time Lords do have a knack for fitting in places that seem too small.
Yeah.
But no. It's all just a whole bunch of cubes.
I mean, there's two small, and then there's GLaDOS with the companion cube, small.
Yeah.
How are you holding up, Doctor? Because I'm a potato.
I'm more alluding to the theory that there is a person inside of the companion cube.
Oh, God.
Well, it is weighted for a reason.
Yeah.
Now that I've horrified you all, let's continue with this episode. So,
great. Why don't we talk about Matt Smith's heartbreak?
Oh, yeah. So he's opened the cupboard. There's all the cubes. He realizes, oh, it really is just me, isn't it? These Time Lords are all dead.
His aunt and uncle are right behind him.
Oh, and the way they reveal what's really been going on.
God.
Auntie's just standing there. And then she shows her arm, or he sees her arm.
Well, no, he goes over Uncle first. He says that, like, his eyes are 20 or 30 years younger than the rest of him. His ears different. He's got 2 left feet.
Yeah.
And then Auntie pulls up her arm and shows the tattoo of the Corsair.
Where did you get that? And it's the Corsair's tattoo. So, of course, here's what's really been going on with the House Asteroid. He's been luring Time Lords here. Well, it's been luring Time. It doesn't have a gender. It's an asteroid. It's been luring Time Lords here. It's been killing them. And it's been making them into patchwork people. Yeah. So far, so Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
This is where I say it's like a greatest hits, because patchwork people is a very big theme. A very big reoccurrence.
There's one thing that I have that's wrong with this scene, where Auntie describes the Corsair as a big strapping man, but her arm is very obviously female.
Yeah. Is it possible that they could have been chopped and changed?
Maybe.
Maybe? Like, maybe if the Corsair had changed into a female form, then she would have, like, a typical female-looking arm.
Like, they killed the Corsair regenerates into a woman, then they killed the Corsair for real. I don't know.
I don't know.
Again, they don't really go into it. I do know that they describe in one of the Expanded Universe books what happens to the Corsair. He or she just sees a white light, and that's the last thing they remember.
Yeah.
A blinding white light. So he tells them to run, because Matt Smith has got to tell everyone to run in his at least once every series.
Basically.
Run.
You see what I did there?
Yeah.
So he's back on the phone with Amy, and Amy is basically like, Doctor, you fucking lied. And now we're locked into the TARDIS, and there's strange shit happening. But then the Doctor's like, wait a minute. How did that crazy lady know that the boxes would make me angry? And so he gets off the phone, and he goes to talk with Idris.
He also does apologise for misleading them, which is good.
That's something.
Sure would be nice if Chim will remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times we got to say it? TARDISes are fucking
The
sentient.
last time the Doctor apologised was "Can you hear me?"
Oh my god, really? Wait! Hang on. I thought she apologized at the end of Flux.
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah, you're right.
To be fair.
Who fucking knows? The point is, though, that she still has not told Yaz about the whole timeless children thing, and literally the next episode that's coming up is her regeneration episode.
And now she never will.
What?
Fucking hell.
So what's been going on
Passing
with
the buck on and on until you fucking run out of time? That's not Chris Chibnall's
So
MO
what's
at
been
all.
going on with the crazy bitey lady? Well, you should have figured this out by now. She's the TARDIS.
I love that she just reveals it by saying, "I go," and she opens her mouth and makes the wheezy groan.
Yes. So the house has somehow... Again, it's not a bingo call. House has somehow removed the TARDIS's
B12.
matrix.
B12.
Has removed the TARDIS matrix and put it into Idris's body.
69. 69. Nice.
Also, bingo.
76 trombones. So,
before you go into the the explanation of the scheme here, I do love that. Okay, so Gaiman just has these lines that just are really evocative of this concept and just say so much and so little. And one of them is Idris saying, "You stole me and I stole you. What makes you think I'd ever give you back?"
Oh.
yeah, she borrowed him to see the universe.
And he was like, "No, I just took you because the door was open." She's like, "Yes. Why do you think that was?"
Which, Moffat kind of contradicts in name when the first Doctor is going to get in the wrong TARDIS, and then the Clara Echo has to be like, "Oh, steal this one."
Moffat contradicting his own law never happened.
No!
I could fix this. I could fix this really easily. He didn't know that was the unlocked TARDIS, so he needed to be told that was the unlocked TARDIS.
There you go. Plot hole filled.
I can
So
fix
he was
it.
about to jimmy the lock on that other TARDIS.
I can fix
and
it even
Paul's
easier.
Like, no, Doctor, this one.
I can fix it in 3 words. It doesn't matter.
No, but somebody is still going to bring it up, and someone's still going to complain about it, so might as well fix it while we can.
Okay. Yeah.
But Brainiac, if we don't have canon, how will we be able to justify calling the Sea Boys by their canon name by saying that all of humanity is genetically predisposed via ancient race memory to remember this name and call them that in abject terror?
There's another great line here where Idris is trying to tell the Doctor what he calls her. And I think is this what she says? You call me sexy?
I think it's after this.
All right. Sorry, I'm
it's a little,
We
it's,
should
it's
get
a little closer to the building scene.
But the scheme is
We
this.
should...
House eats rift energy. It feeds on rift energy. But it can't eat a TARDIS directly without blowing a hole in the universe. So he takes out the Matrix, puts it somewhere else, and slowly devours it away from the console.
Matrix. You know, the part of the TARDIS that is sentient.
You know, I think they even describe it as the TARDIS's fucking soul.
They sure do.
And so it's time for Amy and Rory to be put in mortal peril, because it always happens at least once in these episodes.
Yes.
I mean,
Get the hell out of there. They do not get the hell out of there because
they can't get that.
instead of the Doctor locking the doors, he's unlocked them. House has relocked them by possessing the dormant TARDIS.
Yeah, the Doctor kind of fucked up when he said he was the last Time Lord, because now House has to look for a new source of food.
Mm-hmm.
And what better place to look but than the original universe that everybody came from? And he just so happens to have a perfect way of getting there in the form of this TARDIS.
Which he can he can control instead of the Matrix.
Well, shit.
He's basically, you know, he's the Matrix of it now.
And then we get a really cool shot here.
Oh, yeah.
Combination of the cloister bell as this eerie green glow completely fills the TARDIS console room.
Oh, God, yes.
How cool is that cinematography?
The different lighting makes it look spooky. Yeah.
But it works.
And, and so the TARDIS takes off without 11 in tow and with Amy and Rory back inside.
Oh, and we should also mention that when the Doctor gets to the TARDIS, he tries to opening it by snapping his fingers.
Yeah, I caught that too. That's great.
Yeah, that was taught to him by River.
Yeah. From
I'm
the
sure
library.
she won't come into play anytime soon.
I mean, look, we're talking about an episode called The Doctor's Wife, and it was in a season that's all about River's backstory. I mean, when this came out.
He knew what he was doing.
That was the swerve when we saw the episode title. We were like, "Oh, this must have something to do with River." But no, the Doctor's wife is the TARDIS.
That was the swerve. Okay, Vince Russo.
Is my terminology wrong?
No.
Anywho.
But also Vince Russo has struck again. So when you least suspect it, he strikes.
So we find out what House is up to as the Doctor finds Aunt and Uncle, and they're dying because House left, and they're like, "Well, it's your fault we're dying. You told House there weren't any more TARDISes coming, so he went to the main universe to get more." And then they keel over.
Also, there's a really cute scene where the TARDIS has just left, and the Doctor's like, "I have no idea what to do," and then he starts smiling and smacks himself in the face like, "Focus."
Yes.
Because he loves having no idea what to do.
They do a bit where Uncle's like briefly okay and then just dies anyway.
Oh, I feel fine.
Sorry, that's really funny.
Yeah,
it is.
It's a morbid joke. But back in the TARDIS, Amy and Roy are like, "Oh well, that's weird, but it's okay. We're in the TARDIS. We're safe." "Well, you're half right. You're in the TARDIS, but you're not safe." "So, Amy, Rory, why shouldn't I just kill you both now?"
And then Amy
Rory,
plays a blinder.
You shouldn't kill us because Rory helped.
Because killing us quickly isn't fun, and you need entertainment. So you want to kill us slowly? Question mark.
And I fucking love Michael Sheen's delivery of this. It's just again, the succinctness of the script. All he says is, "So entertain me, run."
Yeah. Also mirroring what the Doctor said. I said the word. What the
This time, eh?
what the Doctor said to Auntie and Uncle when he realised what was really going on. Then we do get the line like, what do I call you? You're my TARDIS. Do you have a name of your own? Well, you call me sexy. As, oh God, you can see the cringe on his face.
And he says, "Only when we're alone. We are alone." Oh, right. Come on, then. Well, before that, there's some fun stuff because Idris is dying, and it's like, oh, of course I'm dying. The TARDIS can't live in the body for long. And Matt Smith is the great line, "I'm a box without a box."
Can you say that great line again? You cut out.
I said, "I'm a madman with a box without a box."
That's a great line.
Sorry, I'm going to laugh a little bit because what we heard was, "I'm a box without a box."
Children, we're not going to the box factory today. We're going to the box factory.
Alright, boys, a box! A box, damn you, a box! But then the Doctor realizes, oh shit, wait. We're in a TARDIS junkyard. Holy shit. I have a plan. And so they head out and they look out over the vast expanse of junk TARDISes, and the Doctor's like, "You know what I see? You know what I see out there?" And Idris is like, or the TARDIS, I guess. Idris, the TARDIS, whatever you would like to call her in this instance. "I see all of my sisters are dead. They were devoured, and we're seeing their corpses." Oh, that's not exactly what I was thinking. "You were thinking of building a makeshift TARDIS out of all this junk, weren't you?" "Yeah. So, let's get to it."
So while they're building...
It's almost like the other TARDISes are also sentient, you fug.
Yeah. So they build this makeshift TARDIS.
You know that god awful fucking tweet that the Doctor Who Twitter put out where they were like, "How many times did Jodie Whittaker say 'see' bleh in the new episode?" We can play that game. How many times is Kat going to snarkily say that TARDISes are fucking sentient in this podcast episode?
Once I hit 1 million, I'll let you know.
If you think I'm going to keep a running total counter, you're probably right.
I mean, I didn't suggest it, so if you're going to do it in editing...
Well, I mean, if we're going to actually do this, the TARDISes are fucking sentient.
Oh, hey,
this is proof.
Oh, hey, look at this
we
rod
have proof from the classic area.
Look at this rod just lying around. I wonder how it feels on my own back. I don't mind. This is a short one anyway. So,
Okay.
It's time for Mind Games. It's time for the best pay-per-view of 1998.
Well, before we do that, I just want to say, House is almost like a... I'm going to do this, Radiac. I'm sorry. House is like a mirror of the TARDIS, or maybe also a mirror of the Doctor, both of them at the same time.
House is a dark mirror of the TARDIS.
Well, yes, but what I'm saying is that, obviously there's this whole thing that's about to come up, but there's also the fact that...
You said it more than I have this episode. Jesus.
Anyways, as I was trying to say, thank you.
Go ahead.
There's also the fact that House is building up these people in order to make them make it its entertainment. And so it uses parts from different Time Lords to do that. Now the Doctor is going to use different parts from different TARDISes to make a sort of Frankenstein's monster of TARDISes.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Well done, Kat.
Well done is right.
Thank you.
May I now talk about this junk
wonderful...
TARDIS and its how it came to be?
Oh, can I take this scene? Because this is my...
You can, but I want to talk about the behind the scenes, then you can take the scene itself. So,
okay, go wild, go.
Why a junk TARDIS? Well, this is another Blue Peter competition winner.
A lot better than the last one.
I believe it was a girl this time. Was it not?
It was.
Yeah. They actually got it made into a toy, which is really cool for them.
Yes.
Nice.
That was part of the competition, was to design a TARDIS set made out of junk that could then be used in the episode and also be made into into merchandise, into a toy. And this person won it, and it looks really good.
Nice.
I haven't seen what the original design looked like on the competition, but if this is faithful to it, they both did a fantastic job, both the competition winner and the set designers.
Agreed.
Now you can talk about the scene itself.
Oh, this is so fucking good. So first, the Doctor and the TARDIS is razzing the Doctor because what's the sign on my front say? Pulled open. And what have you been doing for the past 900 years? Pushing to open. Oh, you see, you can't even follow the simple thing. And then the Doctor says, while we're talking with words, I had to say, you've never been very reliable, haven't I? And this is the single greatest two-word exchange of Doctor Who. Well, it was only beaten by the whole "Do I care for you so little that betray me and make a difference for me" in 2014. The Doctor says, You didn't always take me where I wanted to go." And the TARDIS replies, "No, but I always took you where you needed to go." And holy shit.
Oh.
If there was ever a fucking summation
Yeah.
of the relationship between the Doctor and his ship, there it is. If I may quote a phrase, the succinctness of that simple 2 lines of dialogue, the potential of it is bigger on the inside when you really think of it.
Oh, I love that.
Because it's for all the Doctor's been fighting against systemic injustice and the horrors of the universe and all that, the TARDIS, sensing all this injustice and stuff, and all the wonders of the universe as well, always took the Doctor where he needed to go. I just fucking love that. And there's even more fun stuff after we talk about this in the next scene with the Doctor and the TARDIS. But before we talk about that, there's another great line where it's I exist across all space and time while you talk, run around, and bring home strays.
Yeah.
But anyway, Idris is dying, so they have to hurry.
Yeah, and there's another little heartbreaking bit. It's I would love to talk to you while you're back inside the box. That's impossible. Also, I'm dying.
That's
So
rough.
we better get a move on. But then it's time for the third best pay-per-view of 1996. Don't at me, wrestling fans. I know I got the year wrong. I don't care. Shut up. Mind games between House, Amy, and Rory. AKA, Jesus Christ, how horrifying.
Fuck.
They're running through corridors to try and escape whatever the hell House has planned for them. But the House is well, the hell with this. What's the best way to deal with 2 people? Separate them. 2 people, working together can come up with things that 1 person can't. So I'm going to separate you now, which he does. It's okay because Amy soon finds Rory again. Wait, no, it's not okay because he's now 105 years old.
Well, you're skipping over a bit. Before that, she turns the corridor and there's Rory, and he's "Where have you been? You've been gone for hours." "I was only gone a few seconds." "Oh, House is messing with us." And then they run, and it sort of repeats the same sort of separated door thing, which I think it's either time loop bullshit or psychic fuckery. I'm leaning towards the latter.
I'm 95% sure it's psychic fuckery.
I think he's messing with their heads, yeah.
Yeah, and then we get, they get separated again, and we get so go on.
Yeah, so she sees Rory again. That's the good news. The bad news is he's now 105 years old. The worst news, he's about to die.
And this is interesting, too, because I was talking with Krista, author of Back to the 11th Hour, available now on Amazon.com, and she mentioned this mirrors later stuff in Series 6. I mean, think about it. You have Amy and Rory, and then time fuckery happens, and one of them ages rapidly and is now bitter and old and vindictive towards the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that happens to Amy later, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the reverse of the girl who waited.
Which wasn't moved from the schedules. It was Night Terrors and Curse of the Black Spot. Yeah.
Yeah, so but that was obviously the script was there, and they were pre-production and whatnot was going on for sure. So, but yeah.
Well, the very last scene that we get is Amy coming into a corridor where she finds her name scrawled on the walls. including, I believe it's kill Amy and die Amy.
Yeah.
Kill, hate, death, hate Amy, die Amy,
And
kill
in the
Amy.
middle of the corridor is a skeleton.
In Rory's clothes.
Yeah, because the old
Jeez.
Rory dies in front of it, doesn't he?
I don't think he
die.
does. No.
No, he's just like ranting about how can you do this? And I mean, there's another fucking horrible fucking line when they get separated. Because the old Rory is like, they come for me at night and they hurt me over and over again. How could you leave me, Amy? How could you do this to me? As she backs up and the TARDIS doors separate them again, and then she comes across Skeleton Rory.
That's right, yeah. But she doesn't see him die.
But yeah, again, that's succinctness. Like, they come for me at night and they hurt me.
This had to be like a running... Well, it was a running gag at this point, but they must be having so much fun with this, because I think Rory has either properly died or fake died.
It's like the 4th or 5th time that Rory's died.
I mean, they even...
Basically, Rory is Superman at this point.
The Silas...
He just keeps dying and coming back.
The Silas jokes about this... Well, doesn't joke... Mentions this in the Wedding of River song.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the voice because I don't want to hurt my throat, but Rory Williams, the man who dies and dies again. Die one last time.
Yep. Let me think. He died obviously at the end of Cold Blood, and then in Curse of the Black Spot. Well, actually, before that, Day of the Moon, he's in a body bag.
Yeah, fake out death and Day of the Moon body bag. Fake out death.
Oh, don't forget when he gets taken out by the crack. That's technically a death.
Cold Blood. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah. So this is like number 4.
Yeah, because
no,
Black Spot.
He's number 5. Amy's Choice.
Yeah, that's right. And then after that, he doesn't get... They subvert it in Almost People in Rebel Flesh because he runs off. You think he's going to get killed. He doesn't. I'm thinking of another one. Does he die in or appear to die? No, they subvert it completely in Night Terror because Amy gets killed.
She gets turned into a big fucking scary doll thing. Yeah.
I think that's a death.
I mean...
It gets reversed.
She got better.
She got better. Yeah, she got better.
But speaking of getting better, hey, Rory's fine.
Yeah, and they hug.
Amy's crying over his
I think it's
sports.
just mindfuckery because that was really fast, and I don't think.
I mean, as soon as the real Rory shows up. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying that's why I think it's all mindfuckery because House I don't think has that much control over time because really it's the TARDIS' Matrix that has all the control.
Which begs the question: if he did get into the universe, could he travel through time?
I'm not sure.
But anyway, another strong instance for this being mindfuckery is that as soon as the real Rory shows up, all that graffiti and the dead Rory disappear.
Oh.
Like they were never there to begin with.
And also, given the next bit of fuckery that they do to Amy is directly affecting her senses. Yeah.
Yeah. So
back at the junkyard, there's another great scene with the Doctor and the TARDIS.
Oh my god, there's.
So, I will say another thing. You've been praising this design, but they do signpost a little something on there. Just a little.
Yes, I mean it's on the original because Kat has very kindly provided the original competition winner entry as well. And
I'm sure you have your own screen cap.
The junk TARDIS has a mirror on it.
The junk TARDIS has a mirror on it.
Hit the button.
Hit the mirror alert button, please, Kat.
No, I refuse.
Okay.
I am not here to be your little monkey to be pressing whatever buttons you want. So you know what? I'm going to press the button that I want to.
Oh,
and I'm
God,
going to
no.
have Rainiac's channel taken down.
Oh god, no! Cat!
Okay, it's okay. I got this. We copyright deadlock. Mariah.
No!
There, you see? Copyright deadlock.
Wow, I actually muted you a second after the song stopped playing. Wow. Oh god damn it.
All right.
Why hello then.
I'm so
one of
happy.
these days, you're gonna get genuinely offended that hit the button cat, and I'm not gonna know because I just sit here and think, okay, waiting for the punchline, waiting for the punchline, waiting for the punchline.
And you've been muted the entire time, yeah.
But yeah, if you look on the design that I believe her name was Suzanne or Susanna, that she
Mirror
made,
so the
there is,
doctor can look at himself.
Yep,
Yeah.
there's literally a mirror right there.
There is so much detail in this original plan. It's really impressive.
I know, right? It's amazing.
I mean, you've got good design choices putting a mirror on the TARDIS. I approve.
I love when he's going through like all the different parts, like retroscope, blue thing.
Vinegar spray to fight the Slovene.
Hey.
Yeah, I love all the little references in this. Also, we get a scene here that perfectly shows the blend of comedy and tragedy that Gaiman Gaiman and Moffat pull off in this episode. Because we can't get through to the TARDIS because House has raised the shields. Well, that's okay. We'll just send a telepathic message.
Wait. Hang on. Rain, before we get to that, there's a scene I really like to talk about. Some great dialogue.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot like the whole "I always take you where you need to go."
Go on.
Because the TARDIS is like, "Well, Doctor, do you ever wonder why I chose you all those years ago?" But wait a minute, I chose you. No, you didn't. I wanted to see the universe, so I stole a Time Lord and I ran away. And that's just a great little reversal, The TARDIS wanted to see the universe, so she stole a Time Lord and ran away. That's great.
I love that.
And we already talked about that, but okay.
No, we talked about the I always took
No, we talked about her stealing him because we also talked about the whole Clara thing. And
we kind of meshed it into each other, but it's two separate scenes. He's right.
Anyway, but the makeshift TARDIS isn't starting, and the Doctor's like, "Oh, damn it! All I have is this makeshift TARDIS. There's no power. I've got nothing." "Oh, my beautiful idiot! You have what you always had. You've got me." And she gives a little energy and kickstarts the TARDIS, and so they go off. And now we get to the scene you want to talk about. So please.
Yeah. So they want to get to the TARDIS, obviously. Can't do it because House is a smart cookie and has raised the shields. But the shields don't block telepathy. So the Doctor gets the TARDIS to send a telepathic message to Amy, but he tells her, which one's Amy? The pretty one. And she sends the message to Rory.
I love how as she's sending this message to him, or just basically just go to this area, I'll send you a passcode when you get there. Then the Doctor's like interjecting every so often, like, this is telepathic messaging. And then he comes in again, it's like, the pretty one, really?
Yeah. It's like they can see each other, but they can't see each other. It's really quite fun.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like this camera effect as well. It really gives a sort of, like, mind fuckery effect to the outside of it.
Mind Games Part 2. Blindness and an Ood.
Fuck.
So the nephew is still around. He wasn't killed when Auntie and Uncle ceased to exist. At some point he got inside the TARDIS, or House put him inside the TARDIS.
I guess House made him walk in there before Amy and Rory got
there. Don't question it. But so
he's there.
Nephew confronts Amy. It doesn't do a right lot. It's just sort of like it's just standing there menacingly. He's going to do something cool.
Well, I mean, the thing is that House blinds Amy. It makes her only
he
see,
turns the lights off.
And then Rory goes to investigate a noise, and he gets knocked out by the Ood. And so Amy's stumbling forward as a voice, much like Rory. Is House imitating Rory, I guess, or psychic fuckery?
I think it's supposed to be the Ood, but the Ood is being controlled by House, so it's hard to
tell. I think Rory's voice might be coming out of the telepathic orb, but you can't see it.
Anyway, she walks up, and she's like, "Okay, Rory, where are you? Where are you?" And then she feels the Ood's, like...
tentacles,
and it's like, "Oh, shit, that's the Ood! Run for it!"
Yeah.
And so they run down the corridors, and they end up at a door where...
I also want to mention, this is another really mind-fucking scene for us, because we could see Rory laying on the ground, and then after she discovers nephew, immediately Rory walks up to her and is like, "Come on, we gotta go," and drags her away.
Yeah.
It's like, even the Rory on the floor was fake.
So let's...
God damn. So House is even trolling us. Jesus.
Fucking hell. Neil Gaiman, come back.
I mean, to be fair, Kat, he did come back and you fucking hated it.
Which one was it?
Nightmare in Silver.
Yeah.
That wasn't really his fault. It was the kid's fault.
I know it wasn't his fault, but he did come back and you hated it.
It's night and day, though, when you compare the two of them.
I mean, yeah.
Good God.
I liked
The
Nightmare in Silver
the
because
story itself of Nightmare in Silver was fine. Mr. Clever was fantastic. They then put the children in there. And
That being said, I want him to write for the 14th Doctor in the worst way.
That'd be nice. But, so, the TARDIS is sending them to a backup console.
Yeah, they're trying to get
into
into the main console room, and it's been locked by House. But then Amy telepathically says about Petrichor, and that moves them into a backup, as you say. But it's not just a backup console room.
You can't just gloss over this.
No, it's the 10th Doctor's TARDIS.
No.
Not that. The whole the TARDIS gives Rory the telepathic message with the password in it. It's like 4 different words: Crimson,
11, Delight, Petrichor.
Yes. And they're trying to figure it out, like, what they're supposed to do. Are they supposed to say it? And then Amy's like, that's right, she told me what Petrichor means. And that's when Amy figures out, you have to think the words.
Yeah.
So she thinks of, in order, a crimson flag, 11 candles on a birthday cake, her wedding day for Delight, which is absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's brilliant.
And then she thinks of a raindrop falling into some sort of dust.
Which is what Petrichor
But
is.
Just the fact that for Delight, she didn't think of anything else. She thought of the day she got married to Rory.
Yeah.
So
when
sweet.
she was sitting there laughing with him. It's just,
fantastic.
I also love that Rory's like, Amy, hurry, the Ood is coming, and she's like, be quiet, I'm thinking.
They
They
are such a good double act.
And so, yeah, we got to build this up. They open the door with the passcode. They run in, and it's the RTD era console room. Now, see, this is how you do a nostalgic call. This is an actual nostalgic treat. It's not like fed to you every fucking week going at 3 times at once. Remember 2007 when the show was good. It is a completely unexpected little Easter egg sort of thing. Hey, we still had this set sitting around. We had a nice idea for it. Look at that. You're back in the old console room.
Yeah, and it's like they even give a reason for it in the actual universe, where the Doctor's like, well, you delete all the old ones because there's no need for them. And the TARDIS is like, no, I archive them.
I've archived 30 console rooms.
She said she has like about 30 control rooms.
Well, you can't archive something that hasn't happened yet. You can't. Which means that she has the fucking crystal TARDIS room in her memory at this point in this episode.
But it's just,
right.
This is a good callback. Callback.
Yeah. And so...
It isn't, because what happens next is like going to really annoy fans of 9 and 10.
Really?
Yeah, because they get rid of it.
Well, you know, she still has it in her memory, so whatever.
She could just recreate it.
It could very well be that they still had the console room around, but it was like slated to be destroyed, so they thought, let's get one more use out of it.
I mean, to be fair, it's only been like a year and a half, not even a year and a half, because Tennant's last episode was January 1st, 2010, and this was the spring of 2011.
2011,
so it's less than a year and a half.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how long they keep props around. I mean, we already know that their track record of keeping the episodes fucking around is really, shit, but...
Well, yeah, that was that's like the 60s, but yeah, anyway, so they pull the switch to disable the shields, and House is like, I'm disappointed. Nephew, kill them.
Yeah, he hoped that they could be his servants along with the nephew. And then nephew gets blown into dust.
Which, yeah, they materialize, and they're like, wait a minute, where's nephew? Oh, he's redistributed. You're breathing him.
Oh,
Ew.
my God.
But the Doctor gets this line, another Ood I failed to save, which is kind of like, it's really calling back to Planet of the Ood.
It's the regret on his face when he says it as well.
Which, that's the way you use this monster. You bring it back. You're like, well, I say monster, but the Ood's not a monster.
No, creature.
But you know what I mean.
Creature.
Yeah.
Creature.
Alien.
It's like, Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, that's too bad.
And then we get Matt Smith being the world's biggest badass.
I love. Wait, no,
Yes.
wait. I love this scene where the Doctor explains Idris. It's like, Amy, Rory, this is the TARDIS, except she's a woman. She's a woman, and she's my TARDIS. And Amy just says,
Did you wish really hard?
I love it.
Yes.
And she introduces herself as sexy.
She's also dying, like, worse now.
She's also dying, but then House has to come in.
It's still a really, really fantastic line.
Yeah.
It is brilliant.
I think Rainier, you want to take
This is the best line of dialogue of the entire thing.
I disagree, considering the ones I've said.
All right, this is the fifth best line of dialogue of the entire thing.
The whole entire thing is just amazing.
Whenever Matt Smith gets to confront a really evil villain, great things happen. And here, Matt Smith doesn't even get to confront the villain because the villain doesn't appear on camera. It's just the voice. And House makes the fatal mistake of thinking he's smarter than a Time Lord, the Doctor anyway, because he says, fear me. I've killed hundreds of Time Lords. And the Doctor just says, fear me. I've killed all of them.
Except he hasn't, but we didn't know that yet. Anyway, House is like, well, how can I kill you? Maybe I'll increase the gravity? We're all flat as pancakes. Maybe I'll turn off all the oxygen? Oh God, we're all choking. And the Doctor's like, wait, House, you can't get through. I'll help you get through if you promise not to kill us. Okay? I promise. Delete 30% of the TARDIS rooms and you'll just enough weight to get through. Okay, sure, I'll do that. You're in while you're at it!
As well.
Yeah. Some other stuff, but yeah. But I think mainly his ploy here is delete 30% of the TARDIS rooms. So House goes, okay, I'll do that, including the room you're in now. That'll get rid of you fuckers. I lied! Bye, bitch!
Hello, bitch, because they're not dead.
Well, they play it like, oh no, what happened? Because it's just a silent TARDIS, and for a second you're like, oh no, did House win? And then, boop, they're in the main console room because, oh, you forgot, one little rule: living things from deleted rooms get redeposited back in the main control room,
including the Doctor, Amy Rory, and the dying Idris.
Which, he's just
technically
like,
she's still living, so
yeah,
well, she's dying.
Organic matter might be the more.
Yeah. And so House is like, well, it doesn't matter. I can kill you here. I can kill you in the other room. It doesn't fucking matter where you are. You're dead either way.
Yeah.
And so the Dr. Stalling's like, oh, well, yeah, you beat me. Oh, well done. Amy, Rory, congratulate House on the job well done.
Yeah.
In your evil scheme to kill us. Hooray. And you've trapped us. You're going to kill the three of us.
Meanwhile,
And that poor woman over there is dying. Wow, you ripped the TARDIS out of her body and you killed her. Wow, she's dying. She's dead. You won. Oh. You ripped her out of her body and killed her. Also, she burned out safely a long way away from this control room. Do you think I should mourn her, Doctor? I think you should be careful about what you let back in here.
Oh my God.
And this is right as Idris stops breathing. You took her from her home, but she's back in the box. And she's free.
It was at this point that House realised he fucked up.
Well, he didn't say it as dark as Frez just saying it, but he was more a little triumphant. But yes.
Yeah, but it's just.
No, it gets
we
really
should
dark.
also mention, which I was trying to cut in, is that as Idris lays there dying, she whispers something in Rory's ear.
We'll find out.
And he doesn't understand what the hell she's talking about. So it's not Rory congratulating him, it's just Amy and the Doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But either way, Idris dies, and the TARDIS's soul, because, say it for us, Cat.
TARDISes are fucking sentient!
Thank you. It leaves her body and goes back into the box to delete House.
House gets eviscerated. You hear every single second of pain it's feeling.
And the Doctor gets a great line. That's your problem, House. You're the size of a planet, but inside you're just so small. Finish him off, girl.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Yeah, he screams, and we assume the TARDIS has consumed it utterly.
Which, poetic, isn't it?
The Eater of Worlds gets eaten, yeah.
And can I just say, this scene that's coming up literally brings me to tears every single time.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is
a
And it's
really
like, it is so nice to be able to cry because of a good scene rather than cry over the fact that somebody has not irrevocably ruined, but has ruined a good portion of Doctor Who for me.
yeah. I mean, hey, I mean, here we are. Remember 2011 when the show was good?
Oh, it was so good.
this is
But
this is
please,
beautiful. The
but please.
dialogue in the whole thing is so well written, but this.
All through the episode, Idris has been babbling, amongst other things, about this big, complicated, sad word that she just can't remember and it's on the tip of her tongue. And she finally remembered.
And so
Alive.
she projects herself as, Idris, and she mentions this to him. And he says it's not sad until it's over.
Yeah.
And she also says that there was one thing that she never got to tell him, and she wants to say it now. And it's hello.
So very nice to meet you.
Yeah. Hello, Doctor. It's so very nice to finally meet you. And this was
I'll-
foreshadowed earlier, wasn't it? Because
She said goodbye instead of
what's the
hello,
opposite
which
of not
was
goodbye? What's the opposite of goodbye?
Yeah.
She also gets to whisper, "I love you."
Yeah?
Oh.
And she says, I'll always be here, but this is when we talked. And the doctor is just heartbroken. He's like, please. No, don't go. No.
But she has
But-
to go.
So she
I
has-
think they point this out in the next scene after this, where the doctor's like working on the console underneath, and Amy and Rory are talking to him, and she mentions like even after they're gone, and during the times when there's nobody else in the TARDIS but him, he will always have the TARDIS with him.
Yeah.
And just the fact that he got this one moment in time to be able to talk to her, like actually talk to her and have her respond, and they got to like come to an understanding with each other that they weren't able to do before. Fucking hell, that has to hurt.
Yeah. And so the doctor's running repairs, and Rory mentions what the TARDIS was repeating to him. The only water in the forest is the river, which we now know is foreshadowing for A Good Man Goes to War and the river
Yeah.
reveal. But we didn't know that then. And Rory's also kind of sad because I'm a nurse. I had to watch Idris die, and I couldn't do anything to save her. And it's really getting to me. And the doctor says, letting it get to you. You know what that's called? Being alive.
Oh my God! And again, what she said that big sad word.
Alive.
How is the writing so good in this?
Because Neil Gaiman, he's a fucking master.
Yeah.
It's like even at the end they make a joke about how Amy and Rory's bedroom is one of the ones that got deleted, and they're like, so can we get rid of the bunk beds now and have an actual bed? And the doctor's like, but bunk beds are cool. It's like even that fits in so damn well with all of this.
Yeah, and it also
That's-
ties in perfectly with what's going to happen in 2 episodes' time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Woo.
But, yeah, so the doctor's alone in the TARDIS and is like, are you there? Can you hear me? Well, I guess we're going to go to the Eye of Orion or wherever we need to go. And then the dematerialization lever pulls and the TARDIS is off on another adventure.
Yeah, he says that for once she can head wherever she wants to head. Not where she needs to go, where she wants to go, and then the lever moves by itself, and that's a beautiful way to finish this. Also, Amy asks at one point, can the TARDIS ever speak again? No, due to reasons that are spacey-wacy.
I think the idea is that when it comes to the TARDIS as a matrix, the matrix spans literally all of time, both the past, the present, and the future. So it's that's part of why Idris was dying, was because you put like this entire thing of time inside of her, and there's nothing that could take that except for like a TARDIS itself.
Kind of like, and I'm sorry to break your heart, the Dr. Donna.
Oh,
Ah!
no!
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you know I'm right.
You're right, but I also hate the fact that you're right.
I mean, there's also the fact that when the TARDIS has its energy, it's always been a golden regeneration-like energy.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so
Right.
good.
That's the same shit that pours into Rose at the end of Series 1, too.
Yeah. And the Doctor.
Yeah.
So,
So,
it's so fucking good.
It's so good.
We ready to final thoughts of this thing?
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
I'll take it, I guess.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Absolutely fucking fantastic. One of the best episodes of the show ever made. Holy shit. This is so good. Like, the acting is superb. I mean, the plot, the monster, the corridor running plot is basically just there for, we need something to do beyond Matt Smith and Suranne Jones build a TARDIS for 30 minutes, but, it still works and still spooky and heart-wrenching and heartbreaking, but, God, this whole thing, the writing is just absolutely fucking superb. It is like the pure form of succinctness, like a picture's worth 1,000 words. Like a fucking sentence is worth a goddamn book in this episode. Multiple sentences just completely flip the power dynamic and structure of Doctor Who just to create this beautiful poetic thing. Those lines, I always took you where you needed to go. I stole a Time Lord and ran away. The line about, what was it, alive? Alive isn't sad, but it's sad when it's over. Holy, like, there's half a dozen lines like that are just, as I said, bigger on the inside. It's a masterclass in writing. It is one of the best episodes of the show, and I still adore it to this day. And if you haven't seen it in a while, or if you haven't seen it at all, please, for the love of God, sit down and watch it. It's superb and beautiful, and I wish they made Doctor Who like that these days. And I hope they do again one day. And that's all.
Okay, Kat, do you want to go second or third?
I'll go next. Might as
Okay.
well. TARDISes are fucking sentient. Also, I agree with everything Frez said.
Thank you.
Rainiac, your turn.
Nothing more? For real?
I mean, if I started talking about this episode, all I would do would be to just gush for like several hours. It is an amazing episode. There are all these little nuances that you pick up, especially now that, we have a wider story. It's just, there are so many tiny little things that you don't even realize until it gets to that point. And Neil Gaiman, come back! Write us another episode that isn't fucked up by children.
Speaking of children, here's one potential interesting idea from that. The TARDIS that we see Joe Martin go around in is ostensibly the same one as Jodie Whittaker has, since it's a TARDIS, since it's a police box and all. How did the TARDIS feel about all that division shit?
Oh shit, yeah.
Now there's a story you can tell.
Hey, here's a good question. How did the TARDIS feel about the Doctor murdering one of her sisters?
Good question.
We'll never have it mentioned again.
Yeah. Unlike this podcast, we'll bring it up every chance we get because Jesus fucking Christ, Jim, what were you thinking? Rainiac, tell us what you thought of this episode.
Okay, well, firstly, I could sum up the Doctor's wife in one word. Kind of echoing the fact that not a word wasted. That word is masterpiece.
Agreed.
This is one of the greatest episodes ever made of Doctor Who. Modern, classic, doesn't matter.
Speaking of, let us consult poll.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be high up there.
37th place?
That's too low.
Also, thank you for interrupting my overall thoughts. Appreciate that. So,
I'm sorry.
37th place is ridiculous.
13 points lower than Earthshock.
And I know for a fact that this particular episode was a real labour of love for Neil Gaiman, because he wrote at least 6 drafts, and there's probably more. And each of the drafts was vastly different. The first couple of drafts, Rory wasn't around because Rory had been erased from existence. And Gaiman didn't know he was going to be brought back at the end of the Big Bang. So here's some of the things that we missed from it. We missed an opening where the Doctor took Amy to see the Beatles. It's a good thing that was cut because the Ogrons got mentioned in it.
Oh, God.
There was a sequence to be involving the TARDIS swim pool. That was cut because Karen Gillan couldn't swim at the time. The Zero Room was going to be mentioned with Rory. But the ending, I want to talk about the original ending for this story. Again, Rory wasn't part of this. It would have ended on a really dark note.
Oh, God.
Because Amy and the Doctor would have buried Idris's body. They would have gone away, and House would have survived in Idris's body.
Oh, no. No, fuck that.
No, I'm glad that House has just erased from existence instead. No, it's just brilliant. Watch this. If you haven't seen this, I'm sorry we spoiled the hell out of it for you. Watch this. If you have seen it, watch it again.
I am going to say, this episode was so good that it won the very first Hugo Award for Doctor Who as the 2012 Dramatic Presentation Short Form Award.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
Hugely well deserved. Of course, there was only 3 of us to talk about this episode, but it wouldn't feel right to leave out our 4th member. So here's what Kachiri thought about the Doctor's wife.
Sorry I couldn't make it this week. The Doctor's Wife is one of my favorite episodes of Series 6. Rewatching it makes me want to see how Jodie Whittaker would take on one of Gaiman's scripts. It's also a great episode to point out when I try explaining that the recent few series haven't been fun. There isn't one scene in this episode where any of the actors look like they're just there getting a paycheck. They don't look like they're just offended by another character's presence. I mean, they're all having fun. I can't even argue this was a 3 companion story and each one got their time to shine. One of the things I've noticed on my most recent rewatch is Rory has a very subtle moment when he's checking Idris's vitals during the climax. They don't make any point to focus on it, but it does lead into his final scene with the Doctor at the end of the episode where he talks about how he feels weird. He was a nurse. He should have been able to save her. And it just helps elevate it in total. Amy got so many great scenes trying to, protect the Doctor. Idris stole the show. Overall, it was great. And honestly, I kind of wish Chibnall watched this episode to take notes from when he was trying to write 3 companion stories. None of the actors in this episode was underused as much as a certain Yaz was throughout 30 plus episodes. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week.
Brilliant. Insightful. Thank you very much.
I agree with everything that Kachiri has said here. I do not agree with everything that Kachiri has said here. There, we've covered all the bases.
Thank you.
I have no strong opinions one way or the other.
If I don't survive, tell my wife hello. So
Can I just say, that one video where it's like the completely neutral people from Futurama, that is one of the reasons that I hate the fact that they got rid of dislikes, because they got rid of that whole thing.
Oh, god damn it.
I know, right?
Because it was, yeah. So, what are we doing next?
I wonder if the next episode we're going to be covering has won an award or not.
I will give you a hint as to what it's about. Let's see if you understand this.
Oh no.
What?
We've done the Happiness Patrol.
The Brain of Morbius?
Oh my god, it is, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Let me give you another hint using these same 4 girls.
Okay. Oh shit.
Join us next time when we discuss what's, pretty much the end of Doctor Who, survival.
This is surprising because I was wondering when we were going to pick this.
Okay, so the original plan was to do this for the very last classic review we ever did, but I'm fine with doing it now.
I mean, I don't care either way, but like it's fitting that we do.
It's the very last of the 7th Doctor stuff that we have to do. Because we did everything else.
We've got... No, you're right. This is the end of the Doctor's run.
It's fitting that we do this after an episode that has the whole... It's sad when it's over because, I love Sylvester McCoy. I love talking about Sylvester McCoy, but I'm ready to... We are going to finish talking about Sylvester McCoy on this show next time. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with letting go. Unlike some people who can't stop reminding us of 2007 when the show was good. Who can't let it go and move on to new fucking horizons?
Oh my god.
But
not that he's mad or anything.
Not that I'm mad or anything. Social media marketing saying, how many times will the Doctor say this?
Rain, where can you find us? Great question, May. You can find us on Twitter at Reviews Doctor. I had to interrupt him, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We can wrap this up.
You can find us on Twitter at Reviews Doctor. Individually, we are at Rainiac the Maniac, at Concave Usurper, and at Freezing Inferno, respectively. The Kachiri can be found at the Kachiri. Cat sometimes streams video games at twitch.tv/Concave Usurper. Freezing Inferno at twitch.tv/Freezing Inferno. And Kachiri the same, but the Kuchiri at the end instead of Freezing Inferno.
Buy The Towers Through the Trees by Sean Dillon on Amazon.com. And Back to the 11th Hour by Kristen McTeer at Amazon.com. Wait, what's this? What's this? What's that?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shoot you.
30 seconds and counting. We are still go with Apollo 11.
They are everywhere. It's like they edit themselves out of your memory as soon as you look away.
20 seconds and counting.
We still don't know what they look like.
As long as there's been something in the corner of your eye, or creaking in your house, or breathing under your bed, or voices through a wall.
T-minus 10.
We are not fighting an alien invasion. We're leading a revolution.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Of silence.
Back to the 11th Hour, Volume 2. Available April 29th from Arcavito Press.
New book! New book!
I love how in 50 seconds, Krista put more production values into that than I ever have into these podcasts.
I love how in those few seconds, Krista put more production value into that than the entirety of Chibnall's Doctor Who.
You had to say it, didn't you?
Low-hanging fruit, damn straight.
Yeah.
What? You mean it's not a sound marketing strategy for Krista to have deleted Back to the 11th Hour for 24 hours to promote her new book?
Yeah. Anyway, I know this was a shorter one this week. I'm sorry about that, but I'm also not because it had to be done. It's a shame Kachiri was not around, but hopefully he'll be back next week for Survival.
Yes. We have to let him see the cheetah people.
I don't know if he's seen it before. I've seen it before.
Cat's gonna get a whole lot of use out of the Jesse Cox is a furry soundbite.
Also, I know that Krista is a big fan of this particular episode, so that's great.
You're gonna hit that button. Yeah, you're gonna hit those buttons so many fucking times.
And we talked over it twice. Good job.
Break my soundboard from it.
We talked over it twice. Excellent job. So we hope you enjoyed us talking about the Doctor's cat.
3 times. Say goodnight, Rainiac.
We hope you enjoyed talking about Jesse Cox as a furry. Cat!
Every day we take another step towards getting this channel deleted.
We hope you enjoyed watching the channel get deleted in real time. And join us next time as Sylvester McCoy stars in the end of his run, Survival.
Jesse Cox is a furry.
Until then, Jesse Cox is going to sue us. Bye for now.